Welcome to my tutorial 11A. It's titled UFO Invasion Game Part 2. It's a follow-up to tutorial 11. We'll start by opening the tutorial 11 flash file. Okay, make sure we're back on scene 1 if you're not there. And now what we're going to do is put some land on the bottom of this stage. Open a new symbol. It's a movie clip. LAND, capital L, underscore MC. It's my movie clip. And all it's going to be is a blue strip. Blue strip, using your rectangle tool, you can make it as wide as you like. It has to be long enough so that when we get back to scene 1, that it covers the whole stage. Go back to scene 1. Go and select your saucers layer. Insert a new layer. Call it land. Make sure all the layers are locked. Unlock the land layer. Drag your land movie clip in, and I can see mine is way too small, so I'll go up here and get my transform tool, and I'm going to make it longer and a bit wider. I want to make sure it's covering the stage. Grab my selection tool, bring it down, and because I'm writing code on it, pick up this name here, copy it, paste it to give it an instance name, and now we're ready to write some script on this land. Back to our actions panel, and in this function here where we have this trace running, we can get rid of that. And we're going to type this in. It's an if statement. That means it's a test. If bracket this, meaning whatever movie clip count we're on, if this movie clip hits the land, so it's dot hit test small h capital T bracket land movie clip capital LAND underscore MC bracket two close brackets here, my open curly bracket, this, again, whatever movie clip number it is, period, unload the movie. Just say, take it out of there, it's gone. It's not going to be used anymore. Small U, small L, capital M for movie, open and close brackets, semicolon. And for our test, we're going to see when it hits, the output panel will say it hit. The next thing we want to be able to do is to get rid of this button. We don't want this button anymore. We want this as soon as we start the game. We want the ships to come down automatically. And we're going to do that through some kind of a coding called a interval. And an interval is sort of like it's a time device that says do this every so many milliseconds. So let's type that in, type. The variable, var, any name you want here. This name would be used if somewhere in your program you wanted to cancel this interval, turn it off, and you would reference to this colon, capital N for number, equals set interval. This got to be written just like it is. It's in blue. SET, small s, capital I, interval, bracket, callback. That seems to be a standard. A lot of people use this word callback. That's how we're going to call it out. We're just going to give it a name. You can give it something else, but like I say, I think you should keep track with what I'm using. And this is the time. It's in milliseconds. So I'm saying 100 milliseconds, which is a tenth of a second. So every tenth of a second, I'm going to have something take place. I'm going to eventually make a ship. So above this, below the start button, which we're going to soon take out, this is what you're going to type in. Type, 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 type. It's a function. Its name is callback. Same as this, callback. Open and close bracket. There's my open curly bracket for this function, and way down here is my closed curly bracket. And in that, I'm going to have a test. Same as we did before. If bracket ships S many, capital S there, capital S there, and a capital M. If that's less than 4. What's less than 4? 3. If it's less than 4, make another ship. Make a ship. M-A-K-E, a ships S, colon, colon, excuse me, bracket, bracket, then your semicolon, and then increment it to let us know we went through this loop. Now, if I'm going to increment something called ships many, and if I'm going to be testing it, I need a variable called ships many. So copy this, go up to our variables. I'm going to put up here with the other variables. Variable, var, paste it in, colon, it's a number, and equal to 1. It's supposed to be a colon, as I said, but I actually typed in a semicolon, and we'll see further on in the tutorial where we rectify this. You can put the colon in now if you wish, and my semicolon. So now I can take and get rid of this, all this, cut this. So what happens now is every tenth of a second I go into this function called callback. It checks to see how many, what the count of this is. Is it less than 4? It starts at 1, so it's less than 4, therefore it'll make a ship. Go down to that make a ship function down here, do all that, make a ship, increment it, that's the increment code, plus plus, increment it, tenth of a second later I'll come back and say, is it less than 4? Yes, it's less than 4. If yes, less than 4, it's going to be 2. Then I'll go through 3 times, 4. Once it gets 4, it won't make any more ships. It'll just do this until it makes 4, and then it'll say this test is not true, therefore don't make another ship, limiting us to 3 ships. I think we're in a position to test this out. What's going to happen is when the ships are generated, they're going to come down, and when the first one hits the land, it's going to be taken off the screen. The hit sign's going to come up, then the second one, the third one. So let's test it out. Oh, I have an error. Let's see this. Good. It says frame 1, line 15, statement must be terminated by. So somewhere in my line 15 area for that function, I'm missing a bracket. And let's see, would be line 15. There's an open curly bracket. There's an open curly bracket, but I only have one closed one, so I need one here. If I would have did a test here, that would have told me that. Remember this test I just done. Okay, test my movie again. I hit them. I don't know what happened, but somewhere up here my variables got mixed up. Back to that test. When I hit that test, program recognized the semicolon I accidentally put in there as the end of a line and took that one line of action script and made it into two. All we have to do is make that one line again with the colon. Just follow the instructions. What you should have here, you should have a variable ships s many colon number equals 1. Now let's try this movie. Here they come. And they're not coming far enough. So I can't get my hit. Instruction. So what I'm going to do is go back to my movie clip here on my final frame and bring this down even further. Yeah, it's way down now. It should work. Let's try that. Test my movie. Here they come. Hit, hit, hit. Hit, hit, hit. That's it. We'll find some means later on of having that do itself again. So let's just test that once more and see what happens. Test my movie. There's the spaceships, 1, 2, 3, and as they hit the ground, they disappear. That means you lost the game. Open our actions panel. So right here, var, and we want to declare it was land underscore MC colon capital M O and semicolon. Need that. We can do that. And this start button itself we don't need. So we can right click on that and delete that. Cut it. Gone. I'm going to leave it in the variable because I'm going to make a new start button later on. Open our new symbols panel. I want to make a movie clip and I want to call this laser, capital S, lasers with the S at the end, underscore, it's a movie clip, MC, and close the action panel. Here's our stage for that laser. Select the first layer. My selection, my rectangle tool. I'm going to keep my stroke black and make my laser a something that'll stand up there to that blue it's going to be on. And make sure that frame is selected and draw a long skinny rectangle. With my selection tool, I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to center it to stage. If you have this ring around this little button, then you have it centered to stage, and you'll know when you hit this, it'll center on the stage over here. Go back to scene 1, where we'll declare this. Open the actions panel. Up here under that land movie clip we just put in, VAR, LASER, capital S, capital L, underscore MC, colon, capital M-O, enter, semicolon. I want to make the stage just a little smaller, about 50%. I need to make sure all my layers are locked. I'm going to select the land layer and insert above it a new layer. A new layer, and I'm going to call this laser. Select the first frame. Make sure I can see this blue pattern. Drag my laser in. Select the instance name. Pick this name up, copy it, paste it in here so I can write script on it. This is a horizontal center. I'm going to make sure it's been selected. I'm going to drag it over here for a minute. There, make sure it's been selected and horizontal centered. Now we can write some script for this laser. We're going to open our actions panel, and up here just below or just before this function callback function, we're going to insert some script. Type, and this is the script that we're inserting, that you're typing. L-A-Z-E-R, laser. I think it's L-A-S-E-R. I should have S in here. Laser underscore MC. L-A-S-E-R underscore MC. Period. On enter frame, small o, capital E, capital F, equals a function. Open and close bracket. My open curly bracket. Way down here is my closed curly bracket. And we got two if statements. This if statement is controlling the left arrow key to move my laser left. This is going to control the right laser movement. And it says, if bracket the key period is down, capital K, capital D, bracket key, capital K, period, all capitals, left, close bracket, open curly bracket for the statement. If this key is down, then we want to move our laser, increment its position by -20. So that would move it to the left 20 pixels every time we move that key down. And there's my last curly bracket for this if statement. My second if statement is almost identical, except it's got a plus increment of 20, and it's moving me to the right. We have the laser. Now let's make the movie clip for the beam that's going to be shooting out of the laser. I'm just going to go back to scene 1 for a minute, make sure all my layers are locked. Going over to my library panel and make a new symbol. It's a movie clip, and it's going to be called beam. B-E-A-M, capital B, underscore MC for movie clip. And it's going to be a very thin beam. So select frame 1. Let's make this very red on the outside and almost white. We'll make it white on the inside. And we'll make a long skinny rectangle. So rectangle tool, long and skinny, there it is. That's it. Using your selection tool, highlight it and go back to your alignment panel and make sure it is centered to stage for now. And I want it slightly down, so while we have it selected, move it down there like that. Back to scene 1, where we gotta pick up a layer for it. Select your laser layer, insert a layer, call this beam, B-E-A-M. Select the first frame. All the other frames have been locked. Bring this beam in and put it right there for now. It's on top of the laser gun. Copy your label and put that in as a instance name. Before we write the script for this beam, we'll go back to the beam movie clip. I'll select this first frame, click on it, and just drag it 1 to the right. I'll go about frame 10, insert a keyframe. I'll highlight, make sure it's highlighted, and down here on the y-axis, I'll make this y-axis around -600. That'll send that beam way up into the sky. Go back to frame 2, give us a tween, shape tween, because I didn't make it to a graphic, but we'll go with this. Click on this layer 1 and call it beam. Insert a layer, call it action script, AS. Select the first frame, open your actions panel, open this side panel, double click on my stop, close my actions panel, select frame 2, insert a blank keyframe. The stop here makes sure that the beam isn't moving until we tell it to. Go back to scene 1, go back to our actions panel, close this off, and right in here we're going to put some information, type, and we're typing another if statement. This one says, if the key is down, the up key, if the up key is pushed down, go to that beam movie clip we made, go to frame 2 and play it, which we know should make that beam move. So the format is the same for this. I want to click this auto format, make sure I have no errors. I have no errors. Before we test the movie, let's go into our ships movie clip. And let's make this very long time for this ship to come down. We'll slow it right down. So what I'm going to do is click on it and drag it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on it and drag it. That means it's going to take all that extra time to move that distance. So this should make them slow so we can see what's going on. Let's go to test our movie. The ships are coming. Here they are. I can move. There's my laser works, but my left and right does not work. If I look into my action script, I can see why my laser didn't move. I am using laser S underscore movie clip, but I still have this Z in these two. So there's an S there and an S there. You probably don't have these errors. They're from cutting and pasting. Let's try it. We know the laser works and this moves left and right. Now we just got to make the laser beam follow the laser. I think that's enough for this tutorial. It's quite large. There definitely has to be at least one more follow-up. It'll be titled UFO Invasion Game Part 3. And I hope you learned something from this tutorial. I hope you use it. See you in the next part. Make sure you save this FLA flash file because the part 3 will start from where we left off.